sizes, ages, you names it. It's Keith Hale and Thoughtstorms Live. Let's go to this screen here. Can I be heard? I think I can. I think I've got aggregated chat. I gotta try to get my off-screen monitors to cooperate. So hold that thought, please. Live again. Top chat. I have never wanted top chat in my life. Top chat is the stupidest thing. I don't know, maybe when you've got 5 million people chatting, it's worth something, but I doubt it. Alright. There's some gibberish for you on the chat. Hi, kitties. Where? I poop better software than this. So hello everyone. I haven't really said hello. I'm Keith. It's about that time, 2 o'clock. See by my 2 chats that Thoughtstorms is me in Twitch land and Long Dash Keith Hale Long Dash is me in YouTube. Just on chat. Well, so why? I wonder if this is trying to be live. Let me change screens here. That should tell me something. What am I looking at? Macro pictures of popcorn. Yeah, you are froze over there. You're not even. Okay, well, that one is on Wi-Fi and not hardwired. I hope y'all can see me in my camera. It's not that important to see me. Man, I swear I thought I had one of my cameras working. I've changed the lighting greatly so I can, some of the things I show you in the IRL sculpting area, which I will switch to right here. Hello. Okay, I gotta activate it. Because why wouldn't you have to activate something? And my glasses are not down where I can read this. There we go. Mica Flaccid, deactivate, activate. Wonder Twin Powers, activate, yay! Well, one of the things I had planned to do was to try to mix up some actual ceramic porcelain, water-based clay with the epoxy sculpt, but I bought that clay a long time ago and it is borderline too dry to even be possible to resuscitate. I've got it kind of soaking, so maybe tomorrow we can work on that. Okay, how's everybody doing out there in internet land? Pardon me, a little grape seltzer. And that is really not bad. Should be. It's twice the price of my Kroger diet soft drinks that I love, but can't really handle anymore. I think I've got some microwave popcorn. I may actually pop some, even though that's not where I planned to go immediately. I have, what do you call, oh, come on. Dang it. Broadcast you were watching has ended. Yeah, but not really. Okay. Come on, piss bucket. I said a borderline bad thing. Okay, are you gonna... There we go. Now I've got chat and monitor on the wall. And I believe, yep. So, I have concerns on this project here, the keycaps globe. This is the copper bowl that I kind of use as a mold to hold the keys in the right position. I'm thinking I may not have enough keys. If we think of these as land masses, I could have some oceans, but the problem is I've done just about half the entire globe without more than maybe a Great Lake or two. So I'm afraid that is not going to gel too well. Oh, how clever that rhyme was. And I got a little bit of hot glue I'm going to take off while we're waiting for maybe somebody will show. If you're here and lurking, welcome. Love for you to say hi, and then, you know, hi and then lurk or whatever. You know, that's nice to know when somebody's here, but you might be watching the video on demand later. Oh, light just went out. Oh, probably that one. It's a pain in the prostate anyway. I'm looking for the Tower of Money. I'm looking for... I need some lights. Yeah, that's some of the hot glue I need to get off, but I think I've stained some of the keycaps. I hadn't noticed that before. So at the moment I'm just going to work on taking some hot glue off using some isopropyl alcohol. Because as we all know, alcohol is always isopropyl. Even when it's ice inappropriate. Alright, that didn't get anything. It's not simple to say. Most days I don't recognize me. These shoes and this apron, that place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them. Okay, that's not hot glue. That's CA glue. Yeah, the CA glue I bought was supposed to be medium viscosity. Boy, I'd sure love to see what their thin's like. That medium viscosity just says, screw it! I'm going straight through. Goodbye. Okay, here we go. Some more actual hot glue to take off. So, a couple of just, I don't know, general housekeeping. I'm trying to let people know when I go live. It always bothered me when a live streamer I really wanted to see would go live and I didn't get a chance to see them because I didn't know they had gone live. Some of them, it's just casual. It's not a big deal. Some of them, it's a big deal. I don't want to miss them, especially if they're not performing or streaming very often. I'm concerned this might be. No, that's not CA glue. It's coming off. Anybody knows a good way to take CA glue off of cyanoacrylate glue off of plastic? Let me know. Somehow. How in the world can a person reach me? That's a good little question. I've got an email address, and I occasionally even check it. Occasionally. Very, 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 very occasionally. So you're welcome to try it. It's judgekeith@gmail.com. Because you're all judging Keith. And you're judging me especially at gmail.com. Because that's where most judgment should be passed. Ooh. La, 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 la. So I'm going to try to make the missing part of this. I don't really see that bigger than that, but I don't. I would say it is roughly half. There's a bald spot here and some kind of high spots here. By the way, the older epoxy clay, this is something I messed around with. I had a foam dowel that I shaped like a... Oh, it wasn't a foam dowel. I wish it had been. It was some kind of wire or something. And I was trying to wrap... I had it rolled around into a pentagon shape, and then I wanted to roll these cool looking snakes. See, this is a little darker, especially this is quite a bit older. That's many years ago I did that. Here's another one from that same session probably, which I really like. I thought about painting it, but man, I just like it so much I just don't really want to mess it up. I don't know what it is. Oops. God, can you see it at all? Help what I've got. Stuff in my hands. Stuff in my hands. So, one of my autistic fascinations is globes. I don't have any handy. There's usually 1 or 7 around. I had about 30 globes that I'd collected over the years. And in one of my moves, I had to get rid of about 70% of them. Here's one I painted somewhat realistically many years. I mean, I'm not certain that I didn't paint this in the previous century. I'm trying to think where it was I lived when I worked on that. I think we're talking 1990s. Yes, the 1900s. Oh, JoJo. Yeah. Good old JoJo Rabbit. So, can we see this? I performed something to make this camera zoom out a bit. Let's see if I can turn it around here, maybe. Oh, Lord, this is so frustrating. The moves I make do the opposite of what I want them to do. Alright, I've taken the brightness down a lot. There's still some flickery right here. It's because of the bleeding LED lighting. I've got to get some kind of real lights. Apparently everything I own is LED. As a result, it pulses rather annoyingly. I would probably turn to my phone and play some kind of Minesweeper game rather than look at that pulsing light. I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't get seizures, but I get displeasure. So, I don't remember if I said it. I don't remember what I've said. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to take this two-part, put this on the face camera, this two-part epoxy sculpt. I'm going to mix that, and then when I have my actual ceramic clay, my white porcelain that I bought long ago, if I get it softened up enough, I want to take the ready to go, starting to kick epoxy sculpt and mix it with the also ready to go ceramic. And especially with this stuff, it will have set up in 3 to 5 hours, strong as anything. And then I want to pull away all the clay I can, the porcelain, and power wash it at a car wash if necessary. But I want to make cool looking shapes. This was actually an attempt at that. Boy, I may be too dark now. It's a strange form because it's kind of barely three-dimensional. All its thinnest points are very, very thin. It's a tetrahedron, like a four-sided dice in D&D world. Yeah, that was an attempt at that. Instead of using ceramic clay, which would have made sense, I thought, well, this celluclay is just paper pulp, and that, if you soak it long enough, that's something you can wash out. No, but the weird thing is, it made something very light and very, very stiff and matte. It feels it looks a little bit like egg carton. I've never seen an egg carton that sturdy. So I'm pretty fascinated to try that again. But the celluclay I bought most recently hasn't worked for me. In fact, I had to throw out a big load because I soaked it too long and it got real rank smelling. I am hypersensitive in all my modalities: smell, sight, sound, touch. What am I forgetting? Vibration. Proprioception. No, don't think I'm overly sensitive on propriocentricity. Propriocentric. My Wi-Fi computer over there is showing, I don't know, about 15 minutes ago, what I was saying. It's a little bit amusing. Well, this stuff is not bad. I wish they were a little less proud of it price-wise, because I would buy more of that. I will, but okay. So I'm gonna try to make a toupee with this great old big bald spot on the globe. One of these days I'm going to have multiple cameras. I've got a camera sitting right here that is plugged in and everything should be working. Just quit working for no particular reason. But, you know, you could be looking at this while I'm messing with something else. I don't know. So I've kind of stepped back. I was having trouble with strength on these land masses. You see how I'm mainly just sort of sticking the two-part epoxy sculpt like wads of gum to hold things together from the back. This is a proof of concept to see if I can do this without first sanding or wire brushing or flame treating. That's one of these gadgetoids. The fan's not going to let that work. It worked. Woo! Trigger warning if you don't like flame. Flames! So, these were too weak. I got to picking up, handling the whole thing. They weren't really working. So I found this Stick Fast brand instant CA adhesive. And I ordered it online, so they've got the main label blocked with their shipping label, which is annoying. Instant CA adhesive. When I ordered this, it said that it was medium viscosity, but I don't see that on here. Like I say, they've got quick set medium adhesive. Anyway, so the idea is, I need something to dip out of. We have stuff for that. 1 moment, please. Nope, that won't work. Put that back together. Another thing I have a lot of, I'm not necessarily obsessed with it or, autistically fascinated with it, but I have a lot of things like this. This is the blood sugar thing. You pull it apart and stamp it on your arm and load a app on your phone and you know what your blood sugar is. I've got lots of those. Well, I have some of those and I'm getting more all the time. I've got the EpiPen style injector for my Manjaro, and I've got lots of stuff like that. So, well, this is annoying. I'm going to use this. So So yeah, the Manjaro pins are a cool shape. I relish odd-numbered regular polygons and polyhedrons. And this is a nice rouleau triangle. Where's the camera? This may be too dark, I don't know. Somebody let me know if you can. But anyway, I have probably 100 of these, all by the same company. Before I was on Manjaro, it was I never can't think of the name of it. It's an amazing set of drugs. I did lose some weight. I've completely plateaued on that, but that first one, Trulicity, it was called. I was almost 60 years old when I first discovered what it feels like to be full. I would eat something, a sandwich, say, and then I would maybe even put part of the sandwich down and say, I'm full. I'd never experienced that before. Ever. Heard people talk about it. I've Louis C.K'd myself. He's got a bit. The meal isn't over when I'm full. The meal's over when I hate myself. Which is strong language. I don't hate myself. I did for a long time, and it did nobody any good. Not nobody. Least of all the people I would least want to upset with my self-loathing. So, I'm going to try put some of these continents together. See, this one has some leftover gum on the side. I can't tell if that's visible or not. But I've got a pair of tin snips over here. I tell you what, I love these straight line tin snips. I use it for way too much, probably. But it makes short work of getting rid of these things. So I can rejoin some continents, some islands. I kind of like to string some islands if I could manage it. So, I've been using the inside of this to make these faces line up in a spherical manner. And then I'll look down inside there. You can see it, I think. I don't want flat against flat. I don't want it to look just like a keyboard. It's made out of keyboard keys. The last thing I want it to look like is a keyboard. Anyway, like where it is there, I like that. There's 1, 2, 3 points I can make contact. But just making these things wasn't getting it done. It was sometimes working, but not all the time. I was thinking more like the Sugru material that you can buy, which is a putty that turns into silicone rubber. I believe I'm saying that right. And the thing is, it is stupid sticky. They stuck all kinds of things together, and they didn't show any sanding. And I've seen some people test that. So anyway, I think in my head I was thinking, well, this stuff's epoxy, for God's sake. But it's epoxy with apparently not talcum powder. I think talcum powder is illegal now, right? Asbestos. Corn syrup, corn starch. So that might get in the way of the epoxy sticking to sticking. So, especially with how fast this stuff sets up, I think this is going to work. I just have to work really carefully with this thin viscosity glue, because I'm gonna mix up some epoxy sculpt now. I'm gonna get my glove on and mix up some epoxy sculpt. They say it's non-toxic, and they say you don't have to put on gloves. Tell you what, call me old-fashioned. No glove, no love. Which could be the name of my autobiography or my debut album. I'm not making a debut album, I'm just speaking weirdness. Oh yeah. And by the way, never know who's been here before or not. Here's what I do when I am running out of time with some of this epoxy sculpt. I'll roll it into these wormy dealies and stick them into this thrift store mask. And eventually I'll have it pretty well covered all over, all kinds of filigree and paint job, and be a sculptor, ideally. I keep distracting myself. I'm gonna make the epoxy sculpt. And once I have some of that, I'll take a little dab of it and I'll put a little bit of CA glue on it and put it down in there. I've also made some kicker. Shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up. It's just baking soda and water. It was hot water long ago. Anyway, that's a kicker accelerator. So I'll spray down into that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that now to let it start kind of drying a residue of the kicker, the powdered form of the kicker, because once I have loads of this stuff to stick stuff together with, I'm going to dip them in the all too thin CA glue and put them in place, and hopefully the CA glue and the kicker are going to say, alright, I know you're still malleable clay and stuff, but you are glued down here. You are stuck on here. It's an interesting hurdle, since I'm trying to do the lazy thing by not sanding 300 or more keycaps. If I had a tumbler, that might be one thing, but I don't. I was thinking I used to have one, but I didn't. It was property of one of the schools I went to. Alright, here's the part A. You get equal amounts of these two putties. Wow, this is getting really stiff. Water supposedly thins this stuff out and let you smooth it. I'm not going for smooth, as you can probably tell. I want this to be an artwork. This is testing materials and techniques that I've never done, and I do that a lot. I test something new, and I try to do it in such a way that if it works at all, if it holds together, I end up with an artwork. I don't think anybody's been watching the VODs to speak of, so I'm repeating myself, but I'm going to repeat myself. if I develop enough of a following that people in chat are tired of hearing it, they can just say so. By the way, y'all say anything to me. Be nice to each other. An important mantra that I seriously believe in. I'm going to quit talking about where I heard it. Just say what it is. Try hard not to offend. Try even harder not to be offended. I think so much could be so much better if we would act like that. I don't get political here beyond please look up ranked choice voting. It's a damn near silver bullet that could fix a lot of what ails us, and it's good for conservatives, liberals, progressives, you names it. It's good for people who give a shit about the nation they live in, the state, county. Yeah. And the few people who want to fight it because we fear change, you don't have to change. You were planning on voting for candidate X and his running mate B. You can still do that. You can still do just that and turn it in, and you are done. Nothing had to change for you. I mean, the form did, but you can still do exactly what you were going to do. But you can say, well, I really like this other guy, but he didn't have much of a chance. But if I can vote for him without throwing my vote away, gotta see if these are mixed well enough. I don't have enough light. God damn it. Yeah, still a little marbly. Like, let's say you dig, I can't think of his name. Bernie Sanders. I don't like what happened to him, of course, but I still voted for the same person he voted for. Oh Lord, I'm in a quandary. I'm not saying anything right. I'm gonna shut the hell up and get back to work, or get to work. So I'm gonna put some drops of this stuff on this green toy from my toy box. I collect stuff and I think I can make art with them, like keyboard keys. So this is happening off screen, but I've just put a little dot. I don't know how long it will stay liquid, but I'm going to grab a wad of the epoxy sculpts. I think I won't need as much, and I will put some CA glue on the tip of it, and then come in here. I think you can see this part, and I'm going to push that in there. It's going to make contact with the kicker and start really holding it down faster, I hope. I've done a couple of little tests of this, and the way I did them didn't work out too well, but so far this is promising. Let's see, I still need to take a ball stylus tool and kind of push in the clay to make better contact. I've said it a million times, I wish it would change colors. I wish it would be like pink until it's really getting set up and goes white, or any kind of color change really. So far the CA glue is staying liquid on the plastic. Yep. Good deal. Alright, I got 2 ball stylus. My sister takes and wonder why the baby balls are jacked, and it don't look like I'll ever stop my wandering. Snakes in the ocean, eels in the sea, I let a red-headed woman make a fool out of me. I said I wanted to string some islands. I'm going to do a real pointy thing here. Oh, pointy birds. Oh, pointy, pointy. Anoint my head. Anointy, anointy. Some pointy bird did anoint my head. I've got a cut on my top of my bald head that I didn't realize. My mother noticed when I was beating her at cards last night. Oh, Lord. I love my mama. I almost felt really guilty beating her so bad. She gets her own. See? Concentrating here. And out of here. Did a larger wad than I have been doing, because this one's not going to have, it's just going to have one little corner to one little flat side of contact right there. But yeah, so far it's moving around inside the form in a pretty nice and useful way. So I could do something like that. Ooh. Yeah, I'm putting the stress where I oughtn't. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do something more like this. Similar deal. Where's the kicker? There it is. Hi, everybody. I can't point the camera. Starting to understand why people spend money on those automated cameras that follow their face around. Guys, if you came here thinking how great it would be to see my beautiful, stunning, beautiful face, I haven't charged you any money, so I can't refund anything. I don't know what to tell you. I thought about being a VTuber and making kind of a cartoon version of myself, and I like that. I admire that. Alright, here we go. Oh, so sliding away, dog. Quit it. Once again, this copper bowl is just to make sure that the keycap tops line up in the globe shape. That's something I really like to do with art. I like to make a shape, especially geometric shapes. See this? This I do at the same time as that weird tetrahedron. But then have something cool happen, like being able to pressure wash the clay out and having negative space marbled in with the positive space. Because, bit of Keith trivia, you're at a bar with a trivia machine that's got the Keith Hale subject line, and it says, what is Keith Hale's favorite color? The answer is negative space. So yeah. Well, I've got one big continent. I'll probably end up going like that. I'm gonna let this harden up before I mess with that one for sure. And that's really all the continents I've got. Quadplexes and everything, I had to pull them all apart because they were too weak and wimpy. So I'm gonna have to make a bunch of duplexes and triplexes and quadriplexes. Okay. I don't think quadriplexes is a word. Alright, that's too little clay. Now this two-part epoxy stuff is already starting to get stiff. It's not excessively stiff. I can work with it, but it is testing my patience a bit. Okay, ball stylus. Yeah, y'all can't see this. I'm doing it off camera, I'm sure. You can almost see it. My own ability to see monitors at different distances and stuff is a real problem. If I had started streaming before my eyesight had gone south, I think I would have had a better time of it. I'm working on getting stuff large enough that I don't have to have glasses, although I kind of need them for the close-up sculpting. Oh. Well, I got myself humming Cerebralis. I love singing along with Cerebralis. Her range is in a buttery, nice spot for my diminishing range. I used to be baritone through second soprano growing up. I don't even have much of a tenor left anymore. Yeah, I love singing along with her. Alright, making duplexes, making duplexes. Instead of playing when taken, although I might do that later. See, as I do two duplexes or quadruplexes, any clusters, they've got to conform to this globe shape. That's why I do it down inside the copper mixing bowl. Yep, that's really getting stuck. Sure, you stick when I don't want you to. That'll help. That's silicone. Alright, where... Okay, that did not work for us. Damn. That was kind of dumb. I'm going to try to fix this. Oh, crap. Yeah, I got CA glue on my glove tip. Fingertip. I need my glasses. Don't really want to get glue on my glasses. Even though they were cheap glasses. I still use the box. Okay, that's the problem. I rushed it. I just barely stuck anything on and then moved it into the copper. And that's not the way to do. I need to be more thorough. I like the fact that some of these are really tall keys, some are really short. Overall, I'm really digging the way this is coming together. I'm not paying any attention to what letter is on what deal. I try to make it look as irregular basically as I can manage. So that it's somewhat abstract, somewhat geometric. It's a floor wax and a dessert topping. Do 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 lee 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 do do do. How long have I been on here? 52 minutes. Well, I need to get a bunch of this done, and I need to work with this clay until it's not workable. I'll put some on that mask if need be. And need probably be. Come on. Work with a person. What are you doing to me? Almost out. Right there. Those aren't lined up worth a shit. So now they're lined up on the flat desktop. I'm gonna push the clay down, transfer it over to the copper, let it follow the curve. I hope my audio is alright. It kind of looks okay. I've got a fan on because it's Texas and it's summer. And I don't need that. I don't need it. I don't like it. I don't believe in it. Oh, that's got hot glue on it. Now, if I were to do something like this again, and I don't have keys for it, although I probably could go to Goodwill shops and get keyboards out the yin yang. I have keyboards out the yin yang. It's just I'm keeping this to Apple. I think some of these keys may actually be from like an Apple II keyboard, but otherwise, Macintosh. I was a Mac person back in the earliest days. My first computer I purchased was a a Macintosh SE with a hard drive. It was the first one that had a hard drive. Before that, you had to do the disk shuffle. I was in Cloud 9. I think before the university discount, I think they were calling it $5,000. Oh, and that hard drive was 512 meg? I might be wrong about that. Oh, what was on that key? I'm putting you aside for a moment. Alright. Okay, I got glue on it. I'll stick it on the flat surface. Push it in. 1/4 trauma, and then come in with the ball stylus to kind of roll it up against the inside, the concavity of the unseen side of the keycap. I haven't been using the kicker in this process. I don't think I need to. Alright, I need some more keys. Where'd you put the keys, girl? Where'd you put the keys? Put the keys, girl. I have a bunch now of these failed bits of epoxy sculpt. I'm wondering if maybe I could tumble them, get access to a tumbler, see what comes of them. I really do like to eat every part of the platypus if I can. I don't like to waste. One of my favorite things about going to university, taking art classes especially, is that at the end of the semester, especially the rich kids who just needed the credit, what do you call it, dang it. Anyway, they just needed it for their degree. They didn't care about the class, so their folks bought them everything that was required, and they used a very small amount of it. And so the dumpsters outside of university art departments at the end of the semester are amazing places. I don't go there anymore because I don't have anywhere to put anything. I have kept some of the things I dumpster dive, not everything. It's hard to fight the logic. Yeah, it didn't cost me anything, but if I throw it away now and need it later, it will cost me a lot. Besides that, man, I bagged a sea lion. Okay, I can't make hunting metaphors. I know less about hunting than I do about other sports. If hunting's a sport, I don't know if it is. All right. Holds my love in her hand. Still I'm searching. All I have, all I need. She's the air I would die to breathe. Holds my love in her hand. I drop into the middles of songs at the least provocation. Okay, now there's some, if you can remember, there's some big pieces that all go together. Where's my light situation? I can't make this work. Anyway, but the rest of this is mostly what I'm calling duplexes. Two keys stuck side by side. And I can do two duplexes into a quadruplex, blah, blah, blah. Gets me closer to the land masses I need to close up this spheroid. I had thought I was probably going to paint the visible white stuff. I don't think I'm going to. For one thing, I wish I had made a bit of a cleft, like in a brain, because this is not that far from a brain, which is, again, one of my absolute autistic fascinations. See the logo back there? 7-pointed cog made out of brain. If I can never animate that, it'll just, the brain part won't really turn, but the cogs will. I've done a little bit just on Photoshop, and that, I don't know, didn't turn out that great. Okay, I'm going to put this aside, let it those set up, and I only got room for, well, that's such a big wormy dealy. Another nice thing about this is I made a thick wormy dealy. You can just pull it and it starts becoming a much thinner. If I had more table space, if I wasn't working right here at my laptop, I could really roll it out on the table. I'm just going to try this. Break that. Actually, I'm going to pull it. Now, something that thin will be fragile, but not if it's touching, like in this case, the substrate of the mask. It'll be fragile a bit. We'll work on the nose in here. I need a vise. I need a good way to hold this mask in place. Can you see this? I don't think. Alright. Yeah, I'm working right at the top of the screen. Right here on the tippy top of the nose. And this mask is a little bit eyes wide shut, but it's also a little bit plague doctor It's not. It's reminiscent of. It's not. It's not what it actually is, but I feel like it definitely suggests it, and for some reason, the care and mismanaging of pandemics and plagues is kind of on my mind. I don't know. Can't think of why that would be. I'm a little worried I didn't mix this batch very thoroughly. I feel like this stuff fights me a lot more than the Avis brand, ABES. Okay, starts down another skinny. And the goal here is just kind of to make attractive random abstract loop-to-loop. I'm not really wanting it to. I want it to look more like an Eyes Wide Shut mask than like Freddy Krueger's face or something. You know, I don't want to make it, or Deadpool's scarred up face. We kind of rushed some of these and made them really large because I wanted to have a wide range. But I'm going to try to concentrate on some finer ones now. I wonder if the CA glue trick would be of any use. Come on, work with me, Jesus. I tell you what, I'm taking this glove off. I really only am worried about wearing the gloves when I'm mixing it and they haven't really started coming together and started kicking. YouTubers, crafters, doesn't matter what kind of paint or glue or whatever, they want to use the word dry. Well, I'll just let this dry. In this case, it's kick or react. I don't like to. I don't like to be a public pedant. When somebody says something wrong on National Public Radio, I'll make a wisecrack at their expense because they're not around, they're not hearing it. I'm not hurting anybody. You know, I'm big on public radio. If I thought I could get away with it, I might be blasting some KERA 90.1. But they're always saying, in Washington, I'm Steve Inskeep. In Florida, I'm Becky Poodlehead. And I always work in, and I'm not in Bedford, Texas, I'm Pippi Bapplethwaite. Pippi Bapplethwaite. I like that name. It's my nom de plume. They have a reporter who I just love her name. I haven't heard it in a while. I might get it wrong. Toluwani Osibamowo. I'm pretty sure that's right. Names like that, culturally long names like that, are fascinating to me. My first and last name is 9 letters, 2 syllables, the end. Some of these people, 9 syllables is just the first part of the first of their 19 names. Just fascinating. I wonder how that plays out if they shorten their names, like, Charles will be shortened to Charlie or something. I wonder if they do a lot of that, or not much. I haven't traveled much, and I haven't really had the chance to talk to people from other countries very much. I would like to. There was supposed to be this internet thing that would make something like that possible, but alrighty. That's all the what do you call I made. Need somewhere to put this stuff. It's really underfoot, and I don't have. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. These ice cubes are good. But I was going to put them in that container, and I will when I finish the gum. Sugar-free gum and sugar-free, lactose-free chocolate ice cream are kind of my salvation in my incredibly limited diet. I'm lactose intolerant, sucrose intolerant. I don't like people with green eyes. That's a joke about being intolerant. I like people with green eyes. I have green eyes myself. Green/gray. Okay. Now, if you're just joining us, one of the things I wanted to work on is making scale models of popcorn kernels. This one's not finished. That's why I'll tell you what. I'll swap over to the image search. If I can get it to do it. Yep, there it is. The thing I think I can get, these little tiny orange concave things spread around. Here's a good example. If you can see my, you can see my incredibly large finger there. Shoot. That's a very common form. I have some balloons. They come on, and come with these straws already attached to them, and so you can fill up, I think, 50 at a time, and they're really small. They are probably about, I don't know, the tip of my finger in size, and I want to know if I can pipe expanding foam in there and tie it off and let it pop as it expands, if I might be able to make fairly realistic popcorn, at least maybe starter popcorn that I can add things to, paint and what have you. I'd love it if I could get that. Well, for one thing, I'd love it if those balloons were that color, that kind of warm, yellow orange of the popcorn kernel thing. I can watch slow motion popcorn popping for hours at a time. I dig it. I wouldn't say it's an autistic fascination, but my logo, which I don't think I've got on either of my platforms yet, this guy back here, the 7-pointed cog in the shape of a brain, it matches up with a 5-pointed metal cog. And then there's a third thing, because some Macintosh software, Apple software, no, it's Microsoft, sorry, Microsoft software, and some government agency use 3 cogs meshed together for a logo, and it cracks me up. And so I was over the moon really when I decided on this. I need to find a good version of it. You can see it on my Facebook page. If I can ever animate this, the top 2 cogs are going to turn, and this big popcorn kernel is going to just get chewed up and just chunks of it fall. And that cracks me up, which makes this maybe a good tchotchke to give away for people who decide to give to Patreon. I do have my hand out. I've never done a GoFundMe in my life. I've probably should have. I guess I'm excessively proud, and that's embarrassing, but the thing is, my disability doesn't cover my rent, let alone internet, Netflix, a couple other non-necessities. And so, just to keep the lights on, keep a roof over my head, people are helping me that can't really keep helping me. I'm wanting to reach out to someone maybe who's in a situation similar to me before the pandemic. I was in a job getting paid the most I'd ever made in my life by a crazy wide margin. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't middle class. You know what? I probably was middle class at this thing. And I was paying Patreon for 5-6 different channels. I had to stop that when the money fell off. But I like the idea of helping them. I like helping YouTubers by subscribing, and Twitch streamers by following. Those don't cost anything, but do some good. By the way, that's all I ask. I really would rather nobody wasted their money on subscribing on Twitch. I'm not going to have custom emotes. That's not what I'm about. If you would like to give on a regular basis, Patreon is the way to go. It's not perfect, but it is so much better than any of the other things out there. I will have a PayPal and a Ko-fi deal set up. So, if you can afford to take a $100 bill out of your wallet and throw it on the sidewalk and set fire to it and walk away from it while giggling, maybe send it to me instead. I've done I think a $2 a month. I've done a $5, $10, a whole bunch of them, including ridiculously high amounts that I don't expect that to ever happen. But some of the most wonderful people in the world are just determined not to see me go homeless. Boy, I like this popcorn kernel. I'm gonna save image as JPEG. Okay, good. La 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 la. Oh, y'all are seeing my file structure. Popcorn. Yeah, that. If I make a really large one, kind of an executive one, I'm going to want it to look like that. I love when popcorn pops like that. For one thing, it's the best texture and taste. Ow! Hold the salt nicely. Not likely to get stuck in your teeth. Pretty good stuff. Heavens. Oh! And especially if I make it big enough, a little ball stylus and some bright color paint, I could make that yellow-orange stuff. So, working on popcorn kernels. Let me go back over here. Yesterday I put turtle wax on Spider-Man. I know, starting to look kind of kinky. I want to make a drone host. I really liked Westworld, and I think one of the most compelling science fiction images I've seen since the robot on the day the Earth stood still. Let's say Klaatu Barada Nikto. I don't remember the robot's name. Anyway, what I'm saying is the faceless, white, masculine, silent drones wandering around is just amazing, and I just love the idea of having one just sitting on my bookshelf. And I got this Spider-Man at a thrift store for next to nothing, and so I put turtle wax on here as a release, and then I took this same air dry clay. Let me dang it. This chair, I can't bend and pick things up off the floor, because if I do, I fall out of the chair. It's not your worry. White Magic by the Foamery. It's nice, soft, lightweight, squishy stuff. It's what I've been making these things out of. There's aluminum foil crumpled up inside, but anyway, I stretched that across him like he's getting a spa facial, and so now the time has come to see if I can coax this off. This foam clay, when it dries, it becomes basically like those exercise mats, those puzzle mats you can put on your gym floor. Anyway, I'm forgetting what kind of foam they call it. PV? Oh, wow. Can't believe I've written that. Alright, I don't think, even with the turtle wax, I don't think this is keen to come off. Now, I mean, I can force it, I can cut it off, but, and I think I'm probably going to have to cut a seam in the back. That's how soft this stuff is. I'm cutting it with a pair of plastic tweezers. Oh crap, it's yeah, it's brittle. I think the way to keep this from getting brittle like this, I could have put could have painted it with wood glue. Wood glue will let it stay moist enough to stay flexible. Yeah. Alright. Test of concept. A successful test tells you gotta figure something else out. One thing I'm thinking about trying is making a slurry of this foam clay. And basically paint it onto the turtle wax. So here's part of that mask. On the inside you can kind of see the Spider-Man carved out stuff. The idea is I'll make a big cicada of this figure and then patch it up as I need to make my own custom action figures. This is a scale I like to work in. I could even see it 2 inches or so taller, but let's see, that tells you about some of the things in process. I can't mix the two clays together. The copper thing is kind of full. Let's turn our attention to some fun games on the World Wide Web about. Okay. Yep, I haven't done Worldle yet. Spoiler if you play these games. Only if you're watching it the day of. And I don't know why this page won't reload. But I'm afraid it does get on my sodding wick. There's some kind of script that runs on it. Yeah, forget this. Okay, we're going to try a different. Oh Lord, come on. Well, I wasn't showing you what I was trying to show you anyway. Maybe. There's Worldle. See, look at that shape of that country. Try to imagine where on the planet it is. When I play on my phone especially, I'll definitely get Google Maps out. Just think, okay, that's really round. It looks like a robot leg or something. And then I go look at the map. But I haven't been playing this much, and It's because I'm not loving it. Here's one I like to save for stream. Can be good for getting help from chat. Heavens to Murgatroyd, what are you doing to me? I've got multiple monitors and they're set up to where things are really large. And I don't know why this web page just isn't going to talk to me. I seem to be having no trouble with the stream, but I do seem to be having some computer trouble. So let me... I recently put different artworks over there on the left side of the screen, just because I was tired of the ones that were going. These are like details cropped in, or the logo thing is on a white background that looks terrible. It's about to come up. That piece took forever. That took a long time. Oh, a long time ago there was a website called there we go. It was called at the time Photoshop Talent, and they had competitions, and you know, use a wooden artist's dummy in an artwork, or do something on the theme of summertime, or you know, they had all these contests. I really enjoyed that, and I don't remember what the contest was, but that image I made of a photo I took of a Fort Worth water tower, dipping shaver in the top of his head to shave his head. Okay. Oranian Platts. I know those are good flags if I was Sheldon Cooper. So that might not be freedom. This is terrible. I don't know for certain even if that's Arabic written in the green, or what language it is. Let's zoom in further. This looks very modern. So I'm going to say Saudi Arabia 2023. Saudi Arabia. Come on. Work with me here. Turkey. Oh. Okay, my brain's asleep. Where did I misplace Saudi Arabia? And it's down here. Over here. Libya, Chad. Wait a minute. Where's my brain gone? I'm in the wrong chunk. Here it is. Let's go ahead and put it not far from the capital. And hit the guess button, see how I did. spot on with the year, and wow, Berlin, Germany. Not very good on the location. Okay. Hey, it's called when taken, not where taken. Okay, this definitely has some age to it. I mean, it could be somebody with a crappy smartphone camera, but I'm feeling barely this century. I don't see any clothing that bespeaks super modern anything. Very grainy photo. And we've got ruined columns and things, so to me that's going to be Rome. I'll stick that in 2007. Now, how's your trip to Rome? I do not like Apple Maps. I do not like them, Sam iApps. Alright, guessing. 7 years. Ooh, 5 kilometers. That was very close. Good. Next round. La 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 la. Somebody didn't pay their color film bill. Okay. I'm not even getting a beat on what kind of gathering this is. I still don't remember. Is it okay to say the Orient when you're not sure what part? Maybe not. This is terrible. Yep, I'm gonna get the wrong part of the Orient and probably the wrong part of the century too. That is old-timey. I'm going to give you 1 9er 1 5 1915. And I'm going to stick it into, what do you call Japan? And I'm gonna be so embarrassed. If I did it in China, I'd have a better chance of being close, because I mean that kind of includes Vietnam and all kind, you know. Maybe I'll do that instead. How about Nanjing? Come on. Okay, 1955. Funeral of Tanagawa Noburu, Hiroshima, Japan. Well, my first instincts were better than my later ones on the location. Year was way off. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can tell if that's Russian language or one of those other ones around there. Institution. Something Anno blah 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 institution. This probably should be obvious, but I'm saying it's probably not. City tours. Can't read that part. Jack? Yep, can't read that. Zebra crossing. It's the same advertisement. I like a curved building like that. Well, this game can make you feel really smart if you guess well, but then there's the rest of the time. Yeah, can't make out a drop. I'm going to stick it in Russia somewhere. There's the Taco Bell menu I can never read from the drive up. That's what it looks like. Oh. That looks like it's done up for a wedding. They might be a little dressed up for a wedding or a stag do, hen do. Doesn't tell me much. What? Crackle Bam Boki Ham? What? Sure don't recognize license plates. Although, hang on. That, to me, looks like a Ukraine flag on that license plate. I'm changing to... I'm probably going to go pretty close to Kiev. Alright. Let's say 20... 22... There you are. It's kind of lazy to always put it near the capital, but I am guessing after all. 4 years off. Ukraine, Odessa. Not bad. 182 out of 200 for that round. Interesting. I wonder if that's one of those, oh, what do they call them? Foo dog? F-U dog? Or foo lion? I haven't seen one like that, but I like it. That is so cool. That pattern on it is just a knockout. It's a knockout. If looks could kill, they probably will in games without frontier or without fear. Okay. I'm thinking because of the skin tones that we are not in Japan or China. Well, also the fact that that doesn't look like the foo dogs that I've seen from China. It's got things in common, so I'm wondering if maybe it's guys, I haven't traveled at all. I don't know nothing about birth and no babies. I am going to call this $1951. What was I thinking? I'm going to try Thailand. Not terribly far from Bangkok. We'll see. One night in Bangkok and the world's your oyster. Ooh, way off on time. That's horrifying. 1900 smooth. I'm watching the Nick. Mother and I are watching the Nick. One episode a week. Enjoying it. What does this say? Granite Lion before the gateway to the old royal palace. Seoul, South Korea. My daddy is in the army in Korea. When my Uncle Charlie comes over the weekend, he makes me sleep in the kitchen. But he's really not my Uncle Charlie. We had an album of bloopers on vinyl growing up, and that was one of them. Aren't you lucky I remembered it? I don't feel like messing with that. Oh, a little hacky. Except that it does not want to load. Why don't you want to load? Why do you hate me this much? I mean, I guess I've got a lot of stuff going on, but still getting to know this laptop. I can't come out of full screen. Okay, now put a Hashi here and get a, let's do a 10 by 10 hard. 3 in the corner, and that's a 1, so that's evident. That 4 can only get 1 from that 1, so at least 1's going down. That 2 can only get 1 from that 1, 1's going down. 7 has at least 1 going each way. 6 on the side is evident. 1, 3. That 1 can't go across to the 1. That 1 can't go up to the 1 or there, so down is the only way it can go. 3 in a corner. 2. 2 can only get 1 from the 1. It's a 3 in a corner, but I don't. That's got to go there. That means that's got to go there. Got to go. Got to go. Got to go. Alright, that's got to do that. So that's got to do that. That's that. So, what I started to say was my mother and I are watching the Nick. Nick. That's not the show at all. The Knickerbocker. And it's set in 1900. First season is 1901 for the that wasn't a great time, but you see how this works? I'm going to go slowly on this one, just in case somebody's watching this later. That's a 4 in the corner. I can't go up. I can't go right. And the most you can put onto a circle is 2. In this case, it's got to be 2 to the left and 2 down. It's got to be 4 in a corner. There's another 4 in a corner. 3 in the corner, you know at least that much. You don't know which one of these has 2 and which one has 1. 3 in the corner again. 3 in the corner again. 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 5 on the side is kind of the same way. That 2 is obvious or evident. Let's think here. La, 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 la. That 2 can only go to the right. Can't go up there. Like I'm distracted. Okay, that 2 can only get 1 from the 1 at most. That 2's got to go down. That's evident, so that is. That. Because of this single 1, I know at least that much is happening. Okay. Yeah, I'm distracted. I'm giving up. 6 on the side, 4 in a corner. Try to show you a good speed. 3 in the corner evident. 1 can't go to the 1. That is a 5. 5 cannot go down, so it's at least this. That 3 is in a straight line. It's at least that. That 1 has to go here. That 3 can only receive 1 from that 2 at most, so I know I can do that. That 3's already got its 1, so that's known. 1's got to go there. This one's got to go there. Don't go there. There's a 3 in a straight line. There's a 3 in a corner that's evident. 1 onto a 4, which makes it into a 3 in a corner. 2 over to the 3, to the 2, to the 4, to the 3. La 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 la. Gets a little better. All right. Well, I didn't pick the most absolutely conducive time to start the stream, but I may do some out of schedule streams just when I feel moved to do it. I really would like to get this keycat thing. I'd like to be able to hold it and show it in the camera. Let me come out of here. So, yeah. Look up ranked choice voting. Find somebody you trust who will just explain it, and you'll just realize it's great for everybody. Try hard not to offend. Try even harder not to be offended. There is a tendency in certain groups, especially progressive groups, to go, oh, what you did was a little bit naughty. Okay, it doesn't matter that the other side are doing something just not naughty, but full on treason. You did something a little naughty, so you should step down. Try hard not to offend. And I mean that. I've offended people and I hate it every time it's happened. Well, with the exception of times I've meant to. Anyway, try hard not to offend. Try harder not to be offended. You're not doing anybody any favors when you gatekeep, when you the British version of the Office. I loved when Ricky Gervais would go, "Oh, racist!" Like that's I caught you being racist. That's the funniest thing ever. Like it's a hilarious game. No. These are the wisdoms I'm passing on for today. I plan to be back on at 2 o'clock Texas time tomorrow. I may come on in before then. I'll try to post on Facebook. Yeah, it's almost 2 hours. So I'm going to call it at night. Thank you for dropping by if you did. Hope you enjoyed it. If you spent a little time with me and might see me again. Go to sleep, you weary hobo. I probably can't sing that. Let the towns drift slowly by. Can't you hear the steel rail humming? That's a railroad enthusiastic person of no fixed addresses lullaby.